And at that point, there is so much electricity inside of him that he deals a devastating and final blow to the Bone Devil.
Hey, shoot!
In a million pieces.
As he's supposed to. Draw the dagger.
As this happens, the room begins to shake. Starting from the center of the circle, something begins to rise.
What the hell is that?
A Draco Lich.
Oh my
begins
god.
to find its way out. And at this exact point, the room begins to collapse. It is now a chance to get out. This is your one shot. Do you run or do you fight?
When the professor automatically said pick something of your interest, people were gonna pick like some kind of typical stuff, like their workout schedules, what their music interest, their taste, and all that stuff. And at the time, I was playing D&D with two different groups. One of them being this large group of friends that we play with, and I figured, you know, I want to do something different for an interest video, and D&D popped into my head.
I myself was very, very like back offish of the whole thing, going, you know, I've always wanted to learn D&D, but number one, I'm too afraid to ask those guys wearing, you know, different robes and stuff at the gaming store. And I was kind of like, oh, it's a little weird. The other part of me didn't really want to go that far nerd. You know what I mean?
I actually started D&D when I was about 9 years old. So, played on and off for many years, and then stopped for a while and came back to it. So I would say total, like 20 years easily.
Actually, I had a friend, a coworker, who had just mentioned to me in passing that, you know, he's like, oh, I've got a bunch of friends, you know, that have been interested in this type of game, and we've been playing lately. And then the accessibility became really easy through a friend of a friend. I came in and basically just watched and slightly played a game, and have been playing ever since.
Because when I first started, it was just a board game, and we went with like a strict story and like certain moves that you could do. And then when we got into the role-playing part of it, you could try out different things, and a lot of the things that I've said or ideas that I've had have worked with the game, and I feel like it's very freeing creatively.
You have one person that's running as the dungeon master that basically comes up with the stories and the things that you have your players go through. The players get to decide which way the story goes. You as a DM are able to kind of sway them in one way or the other, or kind of give them options for storylines. As a DM, I've learned to kind of build my story around the decisions that you guys make, instead of just kind of saying, okay, this is what happens. After they do that, they normally come up and find a quest, something to get done, something to accomplish. Maybe there's a weapon somewhere that needs to be found, or maybe there's some gold or treasure or a dragon or something that's terrorizing town that needs to be killed. And then the players go out and do that.
Well, one of my other interests, aside from playing D&D, is being a creative writer. I like to create stories. So this is actually a way for me to explore my creativity by creating my own character and actually playing that character the way how I see it will work out. And it's worked out in ways that I thought it would and ways it didn't.
It is all of my wildest dreams come true, in a way. You know, I've always enjoyed reading fantasy novels, watching fantasy films, but now I get to write my own story instead of just reading somebody else's.
You know, what blew my mind about D&D was the fact that you could do anything. You know, the first time I played, once I played with a real dungeon master, he would say things like, well, what are you going to do? And I'd be like, well, what do you mean, what am I going to do? Because usually if you think about games, we usually have a very specific set of rules that we follow. We roll dice, we move pieces, that kind of thing. But in D&D, you can, for the most part, do what you want. It's really the first time we started really dealing with alternate reality and that kind of thing. So
It's a fun game. It's a lot more about the story, about the characters and their interactions. I've never really felt awkward about being the only girl there, or like the only girl character there either. I'm a cleric, I'm an elf, I'm a healer. That's what I feel mostly present in the game rather than the gender itself.
My favorite moments in D&D come when players come up with something totally off the wall and creative and something I didn't even think of. Something that just kind of makes me go, huh? And laugh at it and see something with that. Because there are so many different avenues that you can go with anything, right? There's so many different ways you can solve a puzzle.
I blacked out and couldn't remember anything that happened past that. When I awoke, my hair was no longer straight but curled, like the angels once foretold in ancient times, and I no longer could see, rode upon ears of ungodly caliber.
I'm sorry, what?
Crickets. Crickets.
We just couldn't hear you. Sorry.
It's a signature trait of the Warlock class, and that not many other classes are able to use it. In fact, Warlocks are the only one able to use it, and it is called Eldritch Blast.
Yeah!